Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop Amazon, and when you do, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon link on our website. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program. Now, on with the show.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know, Oscar, it's kind of cool driving into the city now because you can see them getting ready for the inauguration.
That's cool.
They're putting up all the scaffolding, getting ready for it, and it looks like it's going to be decent weather.
White, and blue.
And also, because of that, they're getting ready with the approvals. They're putting the people in front of the hot seat, putting them in the hot seat for the new Trump staff, including
approvals.
Today. Well, they have to approve them before they can put them in their seats. And today we are joined by, I would call
Those
him
would be
an advocate.
Confirmation hearings, you dumbass.
Hey, language, you're a guest here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What was that, Rob? You know a confirmation hearing.
I'm trying to soften the wording a little bit.
No, I apologize. I just couldn't help myself. I know. I'll sit off to the side and wait for my proper introduction.
Today,
So the movie The Approval.
How's that?
The Approval.
That's right. The hot seat today.
I knew right from the get-go the boys were into this bit. I could tell, Pony. They did everything but snore when I effing brought it up. All right, let's reset Rob Spiewak. Let's get into it. Here we go. You ready?
Is that today, you know who's in the hot seat is, of course, Jeff Sessions, who is up for Attorney General, and he's been getting a lot of flack. And here, sort of
Jefferson Beauregard Sessions the Third, if you please.
That's his full name?
Jefferson Beauregard Sessions the Third.
Legal name.
And that is the primary reason I dropped by, but I don't believe you properly introduced me, Mr. Spiewak.
Because I was taught not to interrupt, sir.
Yeah, that's whether you were taught well by your daddy and your daddy's daddy and your daddy's daddy's daddy.
Here he is to serve as a character advocate for Jeff Sessions, the former
On
governor
your show, I'm not formally testifying, but I interrupted again. I'm sorry. Well, it was all when you said...
No need to put your hand on a Bible or anything.
They're going... You threw me off the rails with your whole approval moment that you were talking
approval,
about.
like we all are.
They are confirmation hearings from the United States Congress of the United States. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the former governor of Mississippi, Haley Reeves Barber.
Haley Reeves Barber in the house.
Should we call you governor?
Well, hello there.
Do we still call you governor?
You can call me governor. I've attained the rank of governor, and therefore the etiquette would provide that you refer to me as Governor Barber, or you can call me Haley, because Rob Spiewak, we go back a long way, do we not?
Well, we've known each other for some time.
That is absolutely correct. It's so good to be with you, and well, hello and buenos noches, Oscar Santana.
It's buenos dias, but hello, sir.
Well,
Thank you for joining us.
It is very nice to be on your program today, and I hope that you, Oscar Santana, will enjoy this interview as much as I enjoy being here.
Governor, there's no need to talk slow and loud to him. He speaks English.
Yes.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so terribly sorry.
Your Wikipedia page, sir, says
Yeah.
that you were a junior United States senator.
Yes, junior United States senator.
Is it senator or governor?
You can call me Haley Reeves. Haley Reeves. That's not why I'm here, you see.
No. You're not, it's not
here.
about you.
I am
Just the
here
facts.
to defend the honor of a man who is being browbeaten in the press, the dishonest media. He is being raked over the coals.
You
and I'm
say
talking
the media
about
is dishonest?
Oh, I should come down there with my cane. I should come down there and cane the back of your neck, Rob Spiewak. You know what I'm talking about. I'd like to talk about my good dear friend, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, the next Attorney General of the United States of America, a man who will do a wonderful job of enforcing the law the right way.
Now, did you have the pleasure of meeting Jefferson Beauregard Sessions II?
Did I have the pleasure? Of course I did. I knew his daddy.
And his daddy's daddy?
And I knew his daddy, and my daddy knew his daddy's daddy.
And did you ever get together?
Oh, of course. Did we ever get together? I mean, it's Alabama and Mississippi. They're very close to each
You
other,
guys
and
became Eagle Scouts together, right?
we are close. We are, as you would refer to if you, for want of a better expression, I would like to use an old expression. We are thick as thieves.
Shocking that you would use
But
an old expression.
We're thick as thieves, but we never stole anything.
No,
all right.
no.
What we did was make sure that people who did steal, if they were accused, would do the proper punishment.
What was
and
the
that's
proper
what
punishment?
There were a variety of punishments. You
Understood.
just want to make sure it doesn't happen again. That's what
true.
my daddy's daddy told me.
Now, what did
you
your
steal
dad-
something,
what did
you
your-
steal somebody's property that belongs to you, and you should make sure that property is.
Did your daddy's daddy ever offer any advice to Jefferson's daddy?
Oh my goodness! I'm sure they commiserated, but I was not there, so I can't tell you that. But I remember what Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III said to me one time when
Yes.
we were sitting there having a lovely mint julep in one of the caucus rooms. You see, Jefferson was one to sneak in some gin occasionally, and
would
we would have
drink-
a one.
drink
oh,
during
yeah.
political
Well,
action?
of course, it's a private club. It's not more than that. That's
I
what
see.
it is. Yeah. And he said to me, I remember this. This was yesterday. He said, "You know what? They're always complaining." I remember that like it was yesterday.
That's funny. Who did he mean by they?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You know.
I don't know that I do.
You know.
Governor.
How the- well, hello, Oscar.
Can you confirm?
Once again, he's fluent in English.
Can you confirm?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Hello.
Both
Yeah.
of the Sessions' parents were primarily English ancestry and some Scottish.
Yeah, that would be. I would say when you look at a family tree,
Yeah.
you want to see English, you want to see Scottish, and you maybe French, but I don't want to go too far.
No, don't go any crazy. Yeah.
But Beauregard, you probably have some influence with that. But Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III is a man of
Do you always
impeccable.
say all four names?
Well, I think it's important to give a man his full name when he is, when he is sitting before Congress to attain this office right now. And let me just say, on behalf of Haley Reeves, Barber,
Yes, that's you.
I hope that Jefferson Sessions sails through his confirmation hearing today, and that in the blink of an eye, the Senate will confirm him, and he will be the next AG.
Do you see
I
this
do
happening?
like that.
Because there's,
Sure.
he
I
has
do.
a, how shall I say, a checkered past.
Yes,
A lot of that will come up today.
Yeah, I believe he will have no problems whatsoever. Where the problem is, are people like you
Me.
who are constant. Well, not you specifically, Rob. I know that I've spoken with you in private before the show and after the show, and I like the way you think. I think you think clearly.
Well, I don't know
that
that
is
I
why
really need that sort of good confirmation from you. That
you were
approval.
telling me that one time that Big Daddy was providing some corn for people, and
he
you
was
said
my mother's daddy.
your mother's daddy. All
Right.
right, your Big Daddy was your grandfather. I bet.
Exactly, yeah.
That's very nice. That's right. And you said that back in the day, in the 1960s, he would sell corn to the right kind of people. Isn't that
when
true?
you say the right kind of people.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Governor.
Yes. Hello, Oscar. How are
There he goes
you?
again.
I am back.
That is good. Well, hola.
And what does that mean, Governor?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Oh, hello.
Can you confirm
Hello.
Hello.
that
That's
your-
another
your
region.
daddy and the Sessions daddy and the
Yes.
Spiewak's daddy are
Yes.
against Chinese checkers?
Well,
If you were to play a game, say you're back at that club where you had the gin, would you be more likely to play Chinese checkers
well,
or
can I
regular
just say,
checkers?
before I answer your question, what lovely music you have playing in the
like
background
that?
there. Could you turn that up for me there? Isn't that lovely?
That's
that
from
just
a
reminds
that's
me.
from a movie. I don't know if you've ever would have had occasion to see it. Gone with the Wind.
I love that film. Oh, I love that film. This takes me back to a nice drink on a hot summer afternoon on the porch.
Spoiler alert:
Yeah.
they lost the war.
Yeah. Don't remind me about that. I think about that every day. There's not a day in my life that I do not wake up and pause and remember the great sons of the Confederacy that gave their lives for a noble cause, the South.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
let
not
me just
so
say.
sure we should continue down that line. Let me ask you about Jeff.
Well, no, I mean they were Americans too. They just had a different
no, they
viewpoint.
seceded from the Union.
Well,
by
oh,
very definition of the war.
Oh, nippity pick, nippity pick. You can nippity pick all day long. Yes,
and-
Oscar, I see you are raising your mano.
Yes,
Oh, that means hand.
Yes, I am back once again.
Very good. Hola!
Oh, that was nice. You sang it.
Howdy do.
It says in 1999, Sessions was co-sponsoring a bill to award Rosa Parks the Congressional Gold Medal. What did your daddy's daddy think of that?
My daddy's daddy I cannot speak for, but I said to Jeff, and now I'll shorten his name, I said, Jeff, this would be a pleat in your cape if you could do this. I think you would turn people's opinions around if you pulled that off. I think that would be a marvelous idea, and I think that's wonderful for you, Oscar, to infuse that fact into this bit, which kind of derails me as you as you pursue that moderate Republican thing you do. But that's okay.
Let me offer
That's
this
truly fine.
perhaps
The comedy
counterpoint.
is disregarded when he can support his gun-toting agenda, don't you know?
Let me offer this as perhaps counterpoint to what Oscar
Yes.
just brought up. May
What's
I
that?
call him Jeff? Is that okay if I call
Jeff
him Jeff
Sessions. That's what he's referred to, Senator Jeff Sessions.
He grew up in a time with a more divided America. He actually went to segregated schools.
Yes,
and,
he did.
One of the things that they're worried about at this confirmation hearing is that because he had such a conservative past, he's not going to really champion the rights of the immigrants and civil rights.
Ball pocket. That's absolutely untrue. That's the kind of
what?
stuff. That's the kind of hoggity-wash that is causing this entire thing to get sidetracked. Look, they can say this administration is discriminatory. That is absolutely not true. I would point out to each and
I'm
every
not
one of
talking
you
about
in
the
that room.
administration. I'm talking about the man.
The man is impeccable with integrity. He is absolutely
What does that
one of-
even mean?
Jefferson Beauregard
He's
Sessions
clean as a
III.
whistle.
Absolutely, whistling clean. You can eat off his forehead.
But
Lay
he-
out the chicken on his forehead and lap it up because he is clean as a whistle.
I
Absolutely.
don't want to eat chicken off anybody's forehead. And I
Well,
also don't want
let me just say, if you laid out that chicken dinner on Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, that would be a tasty meal, and you'd not even taste a lick of skin. Well, the only skin you'd taste would be on the chicken, you see.
Would there be any slaw?
Oh, I'd love some slaw.
A biscuit?
Oh, we had wonderful people in our kitchen when I was growing up.
People.
Oh, the coleslaw. Oh, they were all
What
wonderful.
people
I
did
don't
you have
remember
in your kitchen?
Staff.
Okay.
We had staff for the home, and they made
So
some delicious
your
coleslaw.
mother and your mother's mother didn't actually do the cooking in your house?
You're a kidder. You are a kidder. Well, of course not. No, absolutely not. Never lifted
I
a
just
finger.
take pause when you say the people.
Yeah, they would play bridge, and that would be about the extent of it. Yes.
Speaking of games,
again, my friend.
I am back.
I know you
Why
are
do
back,
you
and it's
keep
great.
saying that?
I'm making it clear.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
To the
Yes.
governor here.
Right, all right. Can you throw me another comedy nugget that I'll have
Yes.
to dance around? Thank you so very much.
The national championship game.
Oh, tough break, Governor.
Oh, man, those Clemson Tigers done stuck a stake in Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III because he's a Roll Tide guy because
Yes,
of,
of course,
Alabama
of course.
and all that. That was an absolute heartbreaker.
Some
but
people
what a
call
great
it Bama.
What a great game. I tell you, I say some of those people out there on that field can really fly.
Some of those people?
Yeah, like the wind.
What do you mean?
Run, run, run. If you know what
Like
I mean.
Forrest Gump?
Not
Run,
sure.
or-
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
They just do a fantastic job. And that's why, I love
They
to
do.
see a college football team or a professional football team. It's wonderful to see, people from different backgrounds and cultures get together and for one goal, and that is to win the football game. And may I add one other thing?
Of
For
course.
those of you that might be questioning Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III or anybody in the Trump administration, I should point out it's not lost on me that his closest advisor is that young boy that's going to be sitting in the White House. That I don't have to tell you.
Senior White House advisor.
Senior White House.
Son?
Now, need I say more?
Stepson?
His son-in-law.
Son-in-law, that's what
Yeah.
it's
His son. That's not lost on it. Now
Yeah.
you know about him, right?
Well, I think we should make it clear for everybody. His name is Jared Kushner.
Jared Kushner, that's the name. Yeah, and
you focus
Trump has
on
him
names,
right
sir?
in the seat of power. I do not pay attention. Last names don't matter to me.
What about
they don't
first
matter.
names?
I'm simply making. Well, Jared will do a fine job, and I think that says it all. Look, I don't have to spell it out
Well,
for you.
your
I really
painting
don't.
was sort of a broad brush. What do you mean, sir?
Yeah, are we
No, I'm
clicking
not.
on religion or race?
Well, I'm just saying that I think that if he's going to be in the White House, I think that's okay, and I think everybody should say, well, why would a person that he doesn't go to church the same day I do?
What do you mean by go to church? I'm sure you can. I mean, it's in the Constitution. You can be any religion you want.
Now you're trying to get me to say something I'm not going to say. I'm not going to go down there. I'm just making. I'm making a point about my friend Mr. Sessions,
all right,
Senator Sessions. That's what I'm saying. And I don't want to talk about that young boy that's in the White House. Although the point I'm trying to make is the point you should all make, and you should be aware. But do I have to spell it out for you?
Just make a statement, please.
He's not a Christian.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Bruffel. My name is Dr. Ludwig Kingsman. I am a Grandmaster Dialectician.
It is a pleasure to meet you, mademoiselle.
What a lovely French dialect, Dr. Kingsman. Please come in. My son Owen is in the den talking to himself.
Well, come on down south, y'all. Y'all want some old possum? Come on, y'all. Don't make me whoop y'all butt.
Very impressive. Does he know any other hillbilly dialects besides Appalachian?
Oh, yes. Just by watching TNN, he's learned over 20 Southern dialects.
Most kids I compete with in dialects can't even do more than 3 or 4 different Southern draws, y'all.
Hello, Owen.
Dr. Kingsman is a Grandmaster Dialectician, and he was a friend of your father's.
Top of the morning to you. Kiss the blarney stone.
The drunk Irishman dialect requires more throat right here.
Relax, Owen. Dr. Kingsman just wants to teach you some more dialects.
I already have a teacher, Davy Chalk in the park.
I'm well aware of Davy Chalk. You can't trust the dialects in the park. They are not pure. Too many influences.
Forget this, Mom. Let's go to the park.
You have obvious talent, Owen. Did you know I can do a heroin addict from any country in the world?
No way.
Try me.
Lithuania.
Give me a little man. I just need a taste.
Eskimo.
Give me a little man. I just need a taste.
Awesome. Are you really a Grandmaster Dialectician?
Owen, son. There are very few Grandmaster Dialecticians alive today. It is a dying art.
Grandmaster Dialectician Diploma. Certificate of Grandmastery. Wow.
It is a great honor to achieve.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Well, hey, diddly-eye, you picked the right day to run that piece of tape. We are live from the Pfeiffer Studios in Washington, D.C. The Mike O'Mara Show is on the air. The Mike O'Mara Show, a national podcast and a radio show with a great loyal following around the world. TMOS listeners get it, and if you're here, so do you. You can reach us at 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-6673 or MikeO'MaraShow.com. Online, on air, on now. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Today brought to you by Zip Recruiter. It's the new year. That means a fresh start for your business, and a great year starts with making great hires. But posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can with ZipRecruiter. You can jumpstart your hiring in 2017. Post your job to over 200 job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or annoying calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million million businesses. Right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter absolutely free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. That's ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. We love it. Make 2017 a great year for you and your company. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS and try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. Oscar Santana, my God.
Yes, sir.
You came in today in a goofy mood.
Yeah.
Why are you picking on our good friend who's visiting us in studio today, Mr. Joel Rogers,
Yay,
pilot
Joel.
extraordinaire? Well, you're just talking about autopilot.
And not only that, he was planning it yesterday. He
Well,
said as he
because-
left the studio, I can't wait till he comes in tomorrow.
Then I'm doing the Haley Barber bit, and he's like, let me find something that is contradictory to this entire bit
I didn't even
and see
know
if Mike can punch his way out of
Who
that bag.
Sessions was until you told me. That's
Yes,
how, that's how far out
exactly.
of it I am. I know who Peter
Yeah.
Thiel is, by the way. I had to
Well,
look him up.
The whole deal is, lots going on in Washington leading
Yeah,
up to the inauguration,
but
so they're
living
trying to
here,
get
Mike,
these guys. Yes.
No one cares here. Like, we are
Yeah.
so over the election in this town that we are beaten down, and I was excited to come in and see Joel Rogers because every time I talk about autopilot and these planes landing themselves,
Right.
whether it's on Facebook or on a group message, he gets pissed.
Well,
because I'm
really?
telling the truth and you get bitter.
Hey, if
Do
you
they
had
land themselves?
not at Nashville.
By the
'cause
way,
they don't have the soft-
hold
they don't
on,
have the hardware
Joel.
here
Before
for
you
that.
begin your counterpoint to the Bolivian scab picker, let me
Welcome, Joel.
give my counterpoint.
BSP.
Oscar. This was the reason I did this today. This was a major news story about across every platform in the United States today. So just before you say that nobody cares, it's simply the news of the day. And Haley Barber is a regular character in my repertoire, and I thought it would. And the fact that his name is Jefferson Beauregard Sessions what's that?
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know these things.
There was a certain issue about the KKK at a previous
See, I don't know.
confirmation.
I'm
Allegedly.
I am
Allegedly.
not aware.
Yeah.
I'm not aware. I am not aware.
Well, it was that's why we did it.
I'm
it was
so
just,
out of the politics world that I appreciate you guys.
Well, it
bringing
really
to
wasn't a
speak.
political bit. It was just fun because the name was fun. And Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III
Beauregard
cannot
was probably
sound.
the
I mean, he
funnest
sounds
part of
like
it, yeah.
seriously, he ought to be a plantation owner in a Quentin Tarantino film. That's why I did the bit, Oscar, not to be political. Don't get paranoid. Come on now. But I think you have a. Let me just make it clear. I said before that when anything that's even remotely within the realm of politics comes up, it will be done in a lighthearted vein, and that was a textbook example of that. And I will not be giving up on that. I think there's a lot of funny to come in the next 4 years. There's a lot of fun,
so much humor. There's gonna be so many. I think Jimmy Kimmel said it best. This is the best thing that could have happened for comedy overall.
I think it is,
Yeah.
and so I knew it was Jeff Sessions, but when I came in today, I said I know he's got a funny full name, and when Ponyboy said Jefferson Beauregard,
I honestly thought Matt
Beauregard
was making
Sessions.
thought he was making the name up.
Right. I mean, he could be a lifelong civil rights attorney, and it wouldn't matter, because that Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III sounds like, seriously, he ought to be doing a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial.
What if he showed up to confirmation in the Colonel Sanders outfit?
Oh, God. You know what? That's it. If comedy took over the world, right?
Yes.
If comedy took over the world, that would be great.
Loosen your string ties, sir, and have a
stayed
seat.
up late watching that national championship game, and I got to tell you, who saw that coming? Clemson.
You are so middle America. You ought to
Why
move
would
down
I
here.
Middle America.
Because they all were out there at their bar last night, and I got about 20 invites down here from the Indiana contingent. It's like, come on out, watch the national championship game. And I follow the professional sport. I do not follow the college
Did you take
sport.
my
but they
television
go.
recommendation last night?
I taped it, but I did not. So I DVR'd it, and I plan on watching it. Rob gave me a recommendation on The Wall, which is. I won't share the politically incorrect way that you recommended it. It was Plinko for challenged people. That's what it was. That's how Rob described it.
It is everything that a stupid person would love in a television
I
show.
love it. When I saw the
You've
Wall
got
last
two
week, solid game.
married fat contestants. One of them's in isolation. One of them has to guess whether or not the lady is going to get the question right based on the answers. He sees the multiple choices, and he says, so if it says like 28, 32, 69. I don't know. She knows numbers too good. And then they have these magical
Visually,
light-up
it's
balls.
stimulating.
It's stunning. It's
Yes.
stunning, but it is, then again, so is the Jay Leno Tonight
I
Show.
I was too busy on the cable box watching the incredible pick-me-up Fathers and Daughters with Russell Crowe, which was just continuing the series of depressive programs that
Isn't
I'm
it
watching.
based on Larry King's book?
It was so depressing.
Daddy
It
Day
was
Daughter.
so depressing. I mean, just constant depression. And, the acting was great. Is it Amanda Seyfried? Is that her name?
Yes, that's the name.
I think she's an amazing actress. And then it had Jesse Pinkman was in it also. So, I mean, they had some good actors in it, so I watched
Spend some time
it.
with your daughter, bitch. That was his best line.
He was the boyfriend, not the not the
okay.
father.
All right.
Clemson takes down the Crimson Tide, right? So you see that and you're like, who saw that coming? A, and then B, I knew that Joel Rogers was flying in, and he was going to come in with his cocky
autopilot. Go ahead.
attitude. And
See, I'm not Rob. I'm not there. So, and I've
gotta
spent very little
swear.
time with Joel in person. I have never perceived the word cocky is not
I would
something
say describing Joel as cocky is like describing a golf
he's
club
the
as
roller
edible.
coaster tycoon.
Well,
he's the guy
what?
that has.
Not a tycoon.
He's got so much time.
It's fascinating
on it.
to
He's
me.
got so much
Hold
time.
on.
Yes.
All right, we're all over the place
Yeah,
today.
can we
Okay,
reset
I want
with a
to
break?
let me hone this all in. Let's come back and explore this very interesting relationship between one of our wonderful guests, Mr. Joel Rogers, loyal fan
One of the
and
most-
supporter of the show,
one of the best supporters of the program.
and Oscar Santana.
And Oscar, both sides of the net on Santana.
We will. She's like wrangling kittens on certain days. We'll be right back, everybody.
The TMOS Elite Whiskey Society presents Questions for a Whiskey Drinker.
Here's a letter from Will in New Hampshire. Will writes, "Why whiskey?" Well, because whiskey puts hair on your chest, not on your palms.
Check out the TMOS Elite Whiskey Society on Facebook or in bars where fine whiskeys are sold.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Vistaprint. We love Vistaprint, and there is nothing better than handing someone your card. It is a classy move, a dynamite first impression, and the deal continues now. 500 business cards for $9.99 when you enter the promo code TMOS at checkout. 500 cards for under $10. Rob's got another one today.
I got a greater card for you, Mike. It's so good.
Good.
Whenever you are in Live Oak, California, you got to eat at Pasquini's. Fine Italian food. Angelo McKelly, I believe is the name. The chef and the owner had these beautiful cards made up with the Italian colors right on them. And the restaurant is in Live Oak, California, Pasquini's. And I love that their logo involves a martini because one does not eat without drink.
And our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody out there in NorCal dealing with that, and Reno, Nevada, and all the people that are getting dumped on with all that rain. Hang in there, guys. Nothing beats the business cards at Vistaprint. It's never been so easy to look so professional. Use a Vistaprint template or your own logo. Vistaprint will make you look great. Every one of us has designed a card at Vistaprint. Easy, 100% user-friendly, and they're fantastic. Remember, use our code TMOS at Vistaprint.com, and you'll get 500 business cards for $9.99. That is a 50% savings. Visit Vistaprint.com, create the card, and then put TMOS in there at checkout. Remember, TMOS. Go to Vistaprint.com and order yours today. Welcome to the show. Always an adventure. Yes, massive story last night on the college football front with Clemson upsetting Alabama, the Crimson Tide. And, I don't know what – this is completely irrational. But is it Nick Saban? Is that the coach of Alabama? Is that the guy that?
Yes. Nice pull,
and he
Mike.
is just. I mean, that you want to talk
Douche
about
of
a
douches.
man, a douche of douche who has had the smoke blown up his butt for his entire. It just seems like his
he's
entire.
5-1 in national championship games.
Yeah, and everybody wants to play for Alabama in the South and probably around the nation.
Me.
Mike, there have been conversations about Alabama championship games playing NFL teams and winning. That's
championship
how,
teams.
Yes.
Championship teams. The thing about this guy is that he's got the perfectly coiffed hair. He they talk about he's an incredibly good golfer.
$5 million a year.
$5 million a year to coach a college team. And really, ultimately, yes. Is it a pressure cooker of a program? Yes, it is. But at the same time, you got to win. They expect it. They have a standard, but he's just in the catbird seat. And, the guy reads his own press. So it frustrates me. And it was great to see
Mike,
the Clemson
really
Tigers.
It's about the education.
Right. Can I give you a Clemson story, a memory of Clemson?
Please. Yes.
So when I went to American University, we had a Division I. Thank you. We had our Division I American University Eagles soccer team, really an elite team. The years that I went to AU, the 2 years that I was at American University, and I don't know if they beat Clemson for the national championship or whether they were in the playoffs. All I know is that with their elite level, American University was a teeny tiny school that did not devote the kind of budget to their athletic program that you would get at these massive universities. And so the guys from AU went down to Clemson. And my good buddy, the late Dougie Dugan, Debbie Cedillo Dugan, has been posting beautifully on Facebook about him. This was just a funny guy, and really Billy Hilton, another buddy of mine on the team. These were such funny guys. They were just wild men. They were crazy, and they were brilliant. I mean, brilliant, elite level soccer players.
Did they live on the terrace?
They lived on the terrace,
okay.
And my friend Doug Dugan actually went on to play professional. And so I think he played for DC United for a while. And the thing about these guys is we had nothing in our program.
1985, Mike.
No, it wouldn't have been 85. Did they win a championship in 85?
They went to the national championship game against UCLA, unprecedented in 1985.
Look up American University 1980, 81, 82. No, look it up. 1980, 81. That's when they would have been. They would have done well then, and they would have gone to.
I like the thought of you still going to AU in 1985 and doing the morning show.
So all I know, they go down to Clemson. I think they play Clemson,
right.
And they go to this facility, and all I know is that for a month afterwards, you had guys on the McDowell Terrace with Clemson Tiger sweatpants, Clemson Tigers hoodies, Clemson Tigers. They found a laundry bin in the visitors' locker room that was filled with all this Clemson crap. And they took it. And they took it all back to American University. And I never will forget. Everybody had a Clemson. And this was like the gold standard of sports equipment.
Yeah.
Like professional quality stuff. And, we didn't have that kind of crap.
And made better by the fact that it was stolen.
Yeah, like you'd go to the American. It's gotten better. You go to the AU bookstore now. Back in my day, when you went to the AU bookstore, you walk in and go, "Hey, here's a nice hat."
Yeah, that's
it. That's what
not
they had.
Not a lot of money in merch.
Yeah, so it was truly, they've had a good program for a long time, but that was what I remember about Clemson, and it was a big win for that program because Alabama is even bigger than them. So yes, Oscar.
I went to the AU bookstore just last week, Mike. They're still selling Tony Perkins key tags.
It's wonderful.
So pick one up.
Yeah,
they're great.
Right next to the bobbleheads. Yes, Oscar.
For AmericanUniversity.edu, I went right to your page. There was some sort of championship between 80 and 81, and it goes right to a site error. So,
sorry about that. Yeah, I think
they literally prehistoric.
I apologize for screwing that up because I should know the details of that, but we had a good time with the soccer players on the floor. They were wonderful guys. So back to the whole thing with you and our pilot friend Joel Rogers.
Joel Rogers.
Joel, you flew in today. You're a big fan of the show. You're a friend of ours, and you get the distinct honor and privilege of sitting in on the show and
I've
dropping
called so
by.
many times into Wide Open Wednesday, I figure you're going to block me, so I have to come in person one last time.
Hey, what's the deal with am I canceling Wide Open Wednesday with all the bitching online about the delay and all that stuff? Big thread.
Joel, when you call,
about
do you
that.
have a problem?
I get a busy signal most of the time.
Yeah,
but you've taken my call.
Do you hear us? When we come on the air? Do you hear? And we come on, depending on when you get the call, right?
I can't remember. There is a little delay, and there are times where I don't hear what you're saying. It's minor.
We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it. You don't have to cancel it, Mike. That's something that is on my list to address after the program today.
I don't like whining, though, Oscar. I don't like whining. And, the Wide Open Wednesday feature
you're better than this.
Yeah, Ronnie.
The Wide Open. Well, that was quite Ronnie is not hesitant to share his opinion.
Well, turn on you like a python.
Yeah, he does turn on you occasionally. So, but Ronnie's another big supporter of the show. We have a small community of very active listeners.
Right now. Cappy Pfeiffer, Joel Rogers, Ronique, maybe 4. Merle
Dirk
Rogers.
Vastrick.
A 5.
No
Dirk
relation.
Vastrick,
Very
right?
good.
No relation.
Jolene White.
Top 5. Jolene's on the outside. Now listen, Joel Rogers.
Is he sober? Let me ask you this, Rob
I don't
Spiewak.
wanna
Is
know
he
if he's
sober?
breathing.
Is he still drunk or what?
100%. I didn't drink
Okay.
last night. I
All
was
right,
watching
just
the
checking.
game by myself.
That's so
Okay,
sad.
Which is so sad. Sober. Joel, you know this, that I love to break balls,
I know,
right?
That's fine.
Now,
Bring it on.
when I ask you,
I'll just cry a little.
I got your back. Literally, I'm in the monitor in back of you, Joel, so
can
don't worry about
these
it. There you go.
planes land themselves?
At some airports, yes.
Okay.
But there's a lot of programming. It's like, and I wish there was a good business school analogy that I could use, but it's like,
Oh, well, hold it. You know, we really should
I
pause
know.
here and let Oscar
He's in
mention
business
that he
school.
graduated
Yeah, I
from
know.
business school. Yeah.
you know, okay, you use computers, but how much input do you have to do to the computers to do something in business, publish or whatever? It's the same thing with the airplane. Yeah, there's an autopilot, but there's so many steps to set it up properly.
Like an algorithm
and,
with no data.
Sure.
Yeah, but once you build the formula, you just hit repeat.
No.
Not in the
Every airport's different. Every approach is different. And
So do you
yes.
feel more
And
comfortable?
what about the weather?
As a pilot,
That's a variable.
land.
Rob, but you're being snarky too.
No,
What? I'm gonna defend.
him.
Well, no, it sounded like you were snarky.
No,
Joel.
No, I'm absolutely on Joel's side. Are you telling me, Oscar, that every approach is different? Just the weather alone is a variable that requires having a living person.
I understand that, but
Also, I'd like to mention this little thing called flight control, where they divert you, and you have to take different routes in, just like I did coming in the other day.
Almost had to hold on the way in here yesterday.
Can
And again, I'm the one that has to program that in.
Yes. Can the tower?
But you also, you know, when necessary, you shut everything down and you
Yes.
fly the aircraft yourself.
Probably
because-
98, 99 out of 100 landings we're doing manually.
What do you do
There it
when
is.
you're up in the air?
When I'm
How
in
much
cruise,
lotion do you need?
And well, not
Drinking
cruise,
scotch
yeah,
and boning
that's
flight
true.
attendants.
Yeah,
Is that what you want?
I should be so lucky.
Just
Boy.
like Denzel Washington.
That's right. And I had the
Can
little
you-
booze bottle behind my
Can you
back
go
like he does.
inverted and then land and save souls? Is your question.
The
Save
best thing
souls.
about that movie I've ever
Save
heard,
souls.
somebody said they could believe that the guy's drinking, but they can't believe the captain would do the exterior walk around in the rain because they don't do that. That's
the thing you don't buy
that's
into?
my job. Yeah. Yeah.
I
The
understand
the
that.
captain says, "You do it. I'm senior, so I'm the one."
Oscar
out there in
Santana
the winter."
checklist. Let's see what I'm going to do today. All right. Try to derail Mike's opening bit. Insult the guest that's coming to visit. Yes, there we go.
Joe
Okay,
knew
let's
what
have
was
some
coming.
fun.
now, Joel.
Yes.
Now that you're in the octagon,
All right, let's hear it.
let's say
It's the
you-
Comedy Coliseum,
You
Oscar.
go unconscious, God forbid, and the captain.
It's what he's hoping for right
overcome
now.
Okay,
with-
I would never say this, but I have a friend, Schmoll Schmodgers.
Yes.
who was flying once early morning going from Boston to I think Minneapolis. And the captain, about an hour into the flight, needed a restroom break, which is normal. You know, it's early in the morning. It's that time. He's got to go.
Sure.
So the way it works, you call and you have the magic code word to open the door and all that nonsense. The flight attendant normally comes in, so I'm not alone in the cockpit.
Yeah, she does.
everybody. Yeah, it's. I wish.
Don't respond to everything, Joel.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry. That's where you get into trouble.
All right.
He's going to give you these
So,
little chips.
that's
He's
fine.
going to give you these little chips, and if you respond to everyone, you're going to get in real big trouble.
I'm going to keep.
She
flying.
just
There you
comes
go.
and checks on you.
So
I'm here to
Schmoll-
help you, pal.
So the guy that Schmoll Schmodgers was flying with got up and passed out.
Oh no!
You mean in the cockpit?
He opened the door to use the restroom and just kind of paused and put his head on the door. Just kind of went.
Oh,
and
so
started
Wow.
going.
What
So-
luck that he got far enough out so
Yeah,
that
the door was
the
open.
passengers
so,
could
yeah.
see him pass out.
Wow.
Sleep. It was early in the morning. But long story short, you talk to the guy later. Well, he didn't have dinner the night before. He didn't have a good breakfast. Then he had some bagel and it set him off. And
It's like
he didn't-
Duran.
Yeah, he didn't totally.
He wasn't ready
totally
to fight.
pass it. So anyway, the thoughts that go through your head are, oh, I hope he's okay. And then, oh my God, I hope I'm not on CNN tonight.
Oh man!
So to
Wow.
answer your question, now the good news was he got some OJ, he perked up, he was fine. The good news is, yeah, no,
No.
That you got to
to
write
go
that
back
whole
to
thing
your-
up
yeah.
when that happens, right? I mean, that's a
Well,
big deal
there
for
might
him,
have-
right?
There might have been some paperwork involved in that one.
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
But to answer your question, I
Moving you up the
landed
ladder.
alone. That's no. I flew airplanes for years by myself.
Okay, so you don't need two people in the front.
No, it's
Is
easier
your
when I
point,
can
Oscar?
say,
Are you trying to make the
put
point
gear
that
down.
flying an airplane is easy?
I'm saying that these hot shots at the front of the plane that stand as you deboard so you can congratulate
deplane. You don't deboard, you
Deplane,
moron.
whatever.
It's deplane. Thank you.
That stand there waiting for me to give them a high five or some sort of tip for flying me around.
It's good customer service.
No, I love to see the pilot. I love to see. Hold on. No, stop. No, my God, what's wrong with him? What is wrong with him today?
I paid for this flight, and the computer landed it.
Give him a breathalyzer check. I want a breathalyzer test. The fact is, I like to see the pilots. I like to have communication by the pilots. I like to see him before the flight. I like to see him after the flight, including the one that flew me in with the aborted landing at Regional Southwest Airport when he had a guitar in his back.
No, you're fine. You seem like a nice guy.
Well, I'm talking about in general.
No, I don't even like seeing my Uber drivers. Like, I just want to get in and you drive.
Right.
This is my service. I'm paying for it.
You know what I love?
Move on.
I love the captain that is into the showbiz element of his job.
Oh, no.
The one that, and I do. I like this. I like the guy that is confident on the mic, makes announcements, says stuff like that.
I keep the shtick to a minimum.
No,
though.
but I mean,
But you know what? Remember we flew, I think we were flying maybe out of Denver. It might have been
Southwest.
Vegas. I'm not sure. We were flying into San Diego, and we flew over the Grand Canyon, and the pilot actually did a go-around of the Grand Canyon because it was such an amazing day, and I loved that, and there were other people that hated it.
I don't know why we just can't get there sooner so I can mow my lawn.
Exactly.
I wrote it.
Exactly. It's like, how do you not love this? Smell the roses, for God's sake.
Joe,
Come on.
what's the best joke you give over the intercom?
Oh, none.
None.
But I'll tell
Yeah,
my
you don't do
annual
jokes.
Christmas joke.
Please.
Do we have time for So
all we have is time.
So the FAA
All of a sudden it's Bob Hope.
That's right.
Hey, do we have time? Johnny, I want to tell this one joke. It's marvelous.
So the FAA has to inspect Santa because he's flying every year, and the FAA inspector sits down next to him and he checks his paperwork, checks the weight and balance, checks the logbook, everything. Sits down by Santa, takes out a shotgun, puts it in his lap. Captain looks over like, what the heck's going on? And Santa goes, what's with the gun? And the FAA inspector says, well, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to see how you do with an engine failure on takeoff.
Oh, my God.
There you go, baby. That's pilot humor on the Mike O'Mara Show. We will take a break.
Come
back with
pilot humor.
with more fun. You back off. You give him a free pass the rest of this show. We'll take a break and come back with more fun and more thrills on the Mike O'Mara Show.
What's up, everybody? It's Rob Mayer from the Rob and Joe Show. It's that time of the year again, a new Rob and Joe promo. Joe's not even here. We're that lazy. Our fearless leader, Mike O'Mara, said we need new promos.
Damn right.
7 months later, here I am. Yes, that's how creative we are. Check back for our next promo in 12 years when we break down the great Anthony Weiner, Mel Gibson presidential race. Rob and Joe Show, new episodes every week. Subscribe on iTunes. Download us on the app robandjoeshow.com. See you in 2028, the year of the oxen.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Mike.
Oh, they're dropping by tomorrow.
To talk about that guy Dan Nanan that they have the feud with. It's a crazy story.
Absolutely
The
fascinating.
comedy writes itself.
Yes.
Comedians against comedians. We've got that on the show tomorrow. Should be very interesting. This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show brought to you by Sleep Number. I love my Sleep Number bed. I've told you about it for so long, and I really do appreciate everybody going into their Sleep Number stores and checking the box that says the TMOS on it, so that you let them know that you're buying your Sleep Number because we recommended it to you. It is life-changing. It is probably the only bed you will ever need, and I use Sleep Number with Sleep IQ technology that gets you all the information you need to know to have a perfect night's sleep, which makes you healthier. Whether it's adjusting your Sleep Number setting or making different lifestyle choices, you know what's working because Sleep IQ tells you, and it is so incredibly comfortable, and you can adjust it, and the fact is that we have the dual adjusting beds in the O'Mara household with the dual adjusting platforms, and it is so wonderful to do that. My Sleep Number setting is an 85, Carlos is a 65, and last night my Sleep IQ score was 95, and I feel great. Sleep Number Queen mattresses start at only $699.99, and right now, during the lowest prices of the season, you can save $600 on the Sleep Number i8 bed. You'll only find Sleep Number at any of the 500 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. Make sure that you lock the front door and be sure no, don't do that. That'll make them freaked out.
No.
No, that'll make him nervous if you do that. Just, go up there. What was that little thing you had that you said yesterday, Rob? They got a little box that you check TMOS on. That's the way it works.
Feed the
right
Mike
here.
Show.
It is under radio, and you click Mike O'Mara Podcast. It's right there. It's like
wonderful. Well, it's great to be here. And how's your winter going? Is it what's
cold?
Is it cold up there today?
Like again.
And I think that I think my amazing POS mobile hates the cold. It stalled on me on the toll road today, which is a thrilling.
This is your Oldsmobile Buick?
Yeah, it's the Buick LaCrosse, and it actually I was in the left lane tooling along.
Hey, come on! No, there's no need for that. There's no need for that.
No, they're not booing. They're saying boo.
How do you? How can a car have low coolant level when it's so cool?
It wasn't low coolant. It stalled.
No, I'm talking about my car has low coolant.
Oh, it has
level.
low coolant level.
Like, it's freezing outside. What more do you want?
Well, if it gets too low, I think it can actually freeze up.
Hope
it
it
needs
does.
to have enough to circulate.
So do you regret that move of scavenging that vehicle from your family? Did it not work out the way you went to? You loved the car at first. I remember that.
It seemed like
I
a
don't
free
know
car.
that I ever loved the car. I accepted the car. It seemed like a wise move.
Did I mention my rental was a Buick up in the wilds of Maine?
Oh, no.
I rented
Man,
a Buick.
I
Yeah,
bet you got a lot of trim.
A LaCrosse?
It was an Enclave.
Oh.
Is that a crossover?
That is a regular it's a regular sub.
SUV, okay.
A regular sub. I loved it.
To drive it.
So I was
No, did I even tell you my rental car debacle?
no.
That I arrived in Boston. It was 7 degrees in Boston, and I had just gotten over the death grip. You heard it on the show before we left, and I had kicked it. I remember saying to Carla, perfect timing, going up to see the family,
right?
No cold, no thing. And I didn't realize it was going to be one of those colds that actually lasts all year,
Literally
which it
looks like a
happens to
penis.
be. So there it is.
You see, up to
there
now,
is the
I
lovely
thought
Buick Enclave.
Up to now, I thought the Buick Enclave was a yearly meeting where they could design a really crappy car.
This is 2016, and it looks like it's from 1992.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, but I will tell you what happened. So I rent the car, and because there are a lot of moving parts to this trip with my daughters coming in and my mother-in-law coming in, I am really trying, like all get out, to get the cheapest but the best in the weather vehicle that I can get.
And also
I
size is an issue.
Yeah, but with rental car companies, when you go on the website, what's he doing now?
Make an Enclave Hearst.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, and it's it's a Hearst. It only carries dead newspaper publishers.
Thank you very much. So I get to the airport.
Put a pin in this guy.
I am trying. I'm really trying. I'm trying to do a show. It is like, I swear to God, I feel like I'm in the weight room right now. I really do. So I get to the airport, and it's 7 degrees in Boston, and I have just flown in from sunny Florida. 7 degrees is not what I anticipated. 7 degrees is absolutely one of the worst situations I can experience. And I get up, and they said on my little rent-a-car website sheet, it says GMC Terrain or similar. You know, when you rent a car, they say you get the Toyota Corolla or similar. You get this or similar. It says GMC Terrain or similar. Now, while I'm in the air, thank you, Wi-Fi, I am, typing away, and I'm getting the old bypass all the lines thing where you can actually fill out all your paperwork and be ready to go. So by the time I get there to the 3rd floor of the rental car place in Boston, I zip out to my car. I say to the young lady, she said, "Are you here for Alamo?" I said, "Yes, I'm here for Alamo. Thank you very much." Said, "Your car is right over there." And I walk right over to the Hyundai. And I look at the Hyundai. I call the young lady over, who could not have been more delightful. For 7 degrees, she was extremely pleasant. And I said, my rental agreement said GMC Terrain or similar. And I said, "This is not similar." And she looks at it, and there's not even a negotiation. She knows that I'm telling the truth. I'm not going to drive the 400-year-old Hyundai when I want to get a better car.
They're counting on the person not caring.
That's true. That's
what they're
absolutely
hoping.
true.
Car, it might be a smaller box.
Yeah.
But it'll all
Look how
drive
they
away in
misspelled
this.
GMC.
Well, not this guy. This guy, it's I know I've got the whole brood. I'm going to have the whole family up there. I am going to have 6 or 7 people in this car at one point.
And you have to drive from Boston to down
to Maine.
east. Yeah,
to Maine, absolutely. So I say this is not. Someone says, hold on, let me check. And I'm not a dick about it, but I'm forceful enough that she knows I'm not accepting that car. So she says, stand over here. And outside of their
in the 7 degrees,
outside of their little kiosk, which I find out, this will come into play later, they have one of those chain link heaters that's hanging from the ceiling with like 1 bar in it that is absolutely doing nothing to and at the 10-minute mark, I am starting to actually shiver waiting for this car. At this point, she comes back. She said, they're working on getting your car up here in just a minute. I said, that's fantastic. She looks at me, God bless her. She goes, would you like to come in here? And so she sends me into their little office that they have on the rental car floor where it's 88 degrees. And it was blissful to be in there.
Were you in there with her?
I was in there with her and another dude, and we got naked and we banged.
No, I don't mean that.
It's just that those little offices don't have enough space for one person.
They're not big, but they were warm and it worked for me. And then shortly thereafter, they pull up with the Oldsmobile Buick, the Buick Enclave, and I was all in. I think it was a ducky, dreamy. I didn't care for the nature of the engine, that I thought it was a bit underpowered, but on all other levels, as far as a large SUV, what was that?
You're on the nose, underpowered.
They're underpowered.
Yeah.
They're very underpowered. Everything else, though, the bells, the whistles, the ride of the thing were fantastic. It was great, and, it takes a while to heat up.
So yours stayed running?
Yes, it stayed running, and it ran
key
beautifully.
For the good ride.
And it had 3 rows. It had 3 rows of seats in the back. So I was, at one point I had the mother-in-law, the son, the 2 daughters, and Carla, and we were all in there and very, very comfortable.
Excellent.
So, hats off to how's Dan O'Brien doing over there? I swear to God, I feel like I'm looking at Mount Rushmore as I look over into the corner there.
Ken Bone is doing just fine. He is under the weather as well. Dan O'Brien, our intern. So try not to stare at him or have you distract him. The sweater is tight.
Yeah, it is. And it's good that you would call him Mount Rushmore, because if his next internship, in theory, goes well, he'll be the 5th face on the mountain.
But I'm glad you mentioned that. We had a guy that we work with at WOHN, and because I've been on the Dan O'Brien website to see that picture where he's kind of looking off into space in his tuxedo.
Yes.
His nickname heretofore, we've given them to Diego.
Yeah.
We have given them to all of our interns. Dan O'Brien's nickname from this day forward will be Face.
Face?
Face.
Not a bad nickname.
Like it.
It could be good looking. It could be part of the A team.
Yeah.
It's Face.
Yeah.
It's Face.
Yes.
He's got a large head.
Yeah.
He's got a very large
We
head.
had a
He's got an
girl in
Irish
high school
head.
that we called Face.
Mm-hmm.
It was because it was a mysterious face.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are
How was it mysterious?
That sometimes if the light caught her just right, you would say, hey, you know what? She's not so bad looking. And then sometimes the light would catch her and it would look like a topographic map. It was just horrifying. I said, what a mysterious
like a
face.
Seinfeld episode.
Now, Dan, you should probably go to Mike's camera because he is without his glasses today. So what you have today is casual face.
Please.
So please.
Hey, Dan, I noticed,
Stand up there.
I'm going to ask you this, Dan O'Brien, because I noticed online that you started something. What, are you sending him up to the...
Yeah, look, Ken Bone.
I didn't
Bone's
either.
Yeah,
See
and
that. All right,
totally
thank you.
devoid of a mustache, but a full beard.
Everybody has facial hair in this room except me. I feel so awkward.
Are you allowed? Is that a?
Oh no, the
'cause you're in
oxygen
shape.
mask. No, the oxygen mask won't seal on a beard.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Don't break the seal, Mike.
That's it.
Don't break the seal. That's another story for another time.
That is.
Hey, Dan O'Brien, you did something, or you started something in December. I saw it on your webpage that you were coming up with some unique idea about keeping college kids safe, and I wanted to ask you about it because you know what? I thought it was kind of cool when I reviewed that. And
Here we go.
now, Rob? Now it's you. What? What are you laughing at now?
His policy to keep
every
college
goddamn
kids
subject
safe.
I get on, somebody goes in the total opposite fucking direction on this show today. What? What are you chortling at now?
Best way to keep college kids safe is for him to go home.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Waka.
Thank you very much. There you go. All right.
What
very
type of
good.
pedestal are you
That's
peddling
wonderful.
these days?
Can you talk about? You have some sort of idea that was taking hold. What is the idea?
So the idea is to have it so that on the back of every student ID there are emergency numbers, so that whenever anybody feels unsafe, they have somebody to talk to. I know these students; they always carry their student IDs with them, especially the freshmen, especially the ones that aren't used to the area. I brought it to George Mason University when I was in the student government. I got a lot of positive feedback, and if all goes well, I want to bring it to every school in America.
Oh, that's really nice.
Smart. Yay.
Yeah,
How about that?
That's really smart.
Look at Rob, now
Thank
silence. Now you have nothing to say if it's not shitty or snarky. What do you literally have nothing to say to him. I think that is a very cool idea that could actually take hold. I think that's not bad at all.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Doesn't change that picture on his Facebook page, though.
Okay, there you go.
Couple things. One, I think people do that in their own way. Those who have smartphones call their friends and FaceTime them on the way home.
Like
right?
while they're walking,
Like while
right?
they're walking. I see girls do that all the time in the city.
My daughter does
They're
it.
talking to somebody
Right.
while they're walking just in case they get scooped up by a miscreant.
Sure.
Right? So then that
A
works.
miscreant.
I'm
I
not
like
even going to
miscreant.
call him on it. It's
So that's one, but two, also having a number you can call just if you want someone to keep you company while you're walking, because not everyone has someone they can FaceTime or call. That's really
Right.
cool of you. That's really
so
good.
you're going to have like a cop and fire department, and then I'm guessing your personal phone number, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
How is the idea? I thought it was a pretty cool little
Pretty
thing, and I was
impressive.
curious
Thank you.
about it. How is it being received so far? GMU liking it so far?
Yeah, GMU liked it so far. I've emailed every school from Virginia all the way up to Maine.
Wow.
Like every state, every college and
man.
university. I haven't gotten like every school feedback, but from the schools that have responded to me, it's been all positive.
And there's a lot of red tape,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so
there's
you
a
got
lot
to
of
get
red
through
tape.
that. Once you get
Oscar,
through
can
that,
you
you'll
take
be
him
fine.
public? Can you take him public with this idea?
No, he's basically saying print some phone numbers on the back of a card. It's a nice idea, but there's no IP there.
No,
Yeah,
but the
there's
magic
no
is
dollars.
There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
profit,
yeah.
but the magic is that even though there's no profit, it's very cheap and a big return
People will be
on a
safe.
cheap, on a cheap
You know,
investment.
your karma return is going to be 1,000%.
I appreciate
Yes.
that.
Now back to our pilot at hand.
No, we're not doing
I
that.
have a quick
ahead.
question for
Oh, for God's sake. What is wrong with you
This
today?
is a good question.
Do you
not
wanna
a
talk
All
tough
right,
about
question.
all right.
Tesla
Go
or
ahead, ask him a
something
good.
else?
Now
I mean,
back.
let's go.
Now
are
back
so-
to our pilot.
right.
Rob, we didn't even need to show up today. We just put
Yeah.
Joel and Oscar in a room.
What are
like you're on
the
autopilot.
greatest show in the history of shows
what are
today.
the
Jesus Christ.
pilot perks that you get?
Did you have a question ready when you said that?
Yes,
Did
yes,
you
no,
have
that's
it when?
good
Hold on. When this is a legit. Joel, shut up a second. Hold on. Now Mike's taking over. Sorry about this. Mike is taking over his own show. My sincere apologies. When you said now back to our pilot, did you have? And then your question: what kind of perks do you get as a
the
pilot?
website up for the Sky Miles Club for Delta, and I wanted to
Well, that's
ask-
good. You've been in that computer for the whole goddamn
Yeah, well, 'cause
show.
I need-
Hey, Joel, what kind of did they let you use any special lounges?
Well, no, hey, that was the question I was going to, because
not
when
that
I
bad
went
of a question.
when I went to the website, I said, "Well, he must have access to all these programs."
All
the
these
lounges,
programs,
the
did they
Sky
let you have
lounges,
drinks
no.
before you fly?
No?
Those are for the customers.
You
Now, I
can't go
do-
into the Centurion Lounge.
Oh no!
You're a pilot.
Pay for it.
Wow.
No.
You
No,
know what?
get-
Can I
get
ask you a
free
question?
Travel if
All right.
the seats are open.
I don't care about the perks. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask this question. This is really important for me. I was thinking about this just the other day. We had a 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah.
You're Johnny Pilot, where you have to do your walk around the aircraft. You do that. You have a 6 a.m. flight. What time on average do you have to get there, and does it vary if you do have like a crack of dawn flight as opposed to like a 7 o'clock flight? What is the routine? How early do you have to get there to fly that big bird?
Domestic. They want us there 1 hour. They want us hitting the curb 1 hour prior to departure.
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Not
So
bad.
That's
when
not
you
bad.
say hit the curb, you mean arrive at the airport.
So
Okay.
by the time we actually get to the airplane, it may be 45 minutes or so, which is pushing it. I mean, I could show up a half hour prior, but then I'm a little rushed. Internationally, they're shooting for like an hour and a half for the long
Hour
run.
and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
and
just-
you, as the pilot, as the captain, you have to do your own personal walk around the plane.
Yes.
Can you delegate that off to the co-pilot, or do
Well,
you always
I'm
have
still
to
the
do that?
co-pilot. I could have been the captain in the little airplanes in New York, and I don't want to do that. So I'm
Okay.
happy to be the number 2 guy on the big planes and do the
Right.
overseas stuff. So technically, the captain delegates it to me, but 99 times out of 100, I just do it without even asking.
So if you want like to go to a smaller jet, you could be the captain, but you'd rather fly the
Correct.
big birds and eventually
Correct.
get the big birds, and that's kind of the normal trajectory for somebody that
Correct.
wants to do what you want to do.
How long have you
All
been
right.
flying, Joel?
I started when I was in high school. So I was 16 and I soloed, and I got my
That's cool.
pilot's license at 17. So it's been a while.
So you've been at it a while. Is it a common course to fly as long as you've flown before you get to captain the big plane?
It varies. 5-10 years ago after 9/11, when nobody was moving up and there were so many cuts, everybody kind of stagnated along the seniority list. Now
have you failed a lot of your tests, Joel?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Now I'm busting his balls. I'm sorry. I was said no. See, I know I'm supposed to be the nice guy.
I'll say it because he's too proud not to. Sober 4 years.
That's
there you go. That's wonderful. That is terrific.
So, what are the perks?
He wants his perk question answered.
Besides a 16-hour layover in D.C., so I could see you guys.
Very cool.
Nice.
That's very nice.
I do, if the airplane is open, if their seat's open, I get to travel for free. But in this day and age, those seats are pretty full.
Is that because they've cut back on the overall number of flights, right?
Well, and they're good at dumping those last-minute seats on Hotwire or Kayak or something because those last few seats are almost pure profit.
What about the jump seat? What about like on a Big Bird?
That's it. So if I'm by myself, not with my family, I can do the jump seat if it's open. And
do you get to fly your family? Does your family get to come along if there are seats available?
There are if there's seats available.
But very rare, I would imagine.
The last time I flew them to Florida, I actually bought tickets. I got cheaper. I got a discount.
That's important.
But it was like, we needed to get back for school, and I needed to get back to work. I said, I'm just going to spend the money and buy the seats and know we have seats and not worry about getting up at 4 a.m. to get that first flight.
And hope to get on a plane by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
right?
things change. The day before I go, hey, they're open seats. And then you get to the airport and, United canceled and they put all the people on our flights and we'll never get out of there.
All right, last question. I have a last question for you, as far as flying goes. My experience over the weekend, the go-around, the dreaded go-around that we experience. Someone mentioned that extremely expensive when that happens. How big a deal is the go-around? And when he said they put another plane too close to him,
that's
do you think
probably
that
true? Yeah,
that's probably what it was. How big?
Yeah.
It happens a lot. Is it as big a deal as I made it out to be?
Safety-wise, no. Work-wise, I got to work a little bit, and money-wise, I'll burn. My airplane will burn almost 1,000 pounds of gas doing a takeoff and then coming back around. So there's a little financial cost, but. Hey, if we're gonna,
it's a sunk cost, safety.
You got to do it. Yeah, you don't argue it. Yeah, it's
right, but not that big a deal. If you're up there and they do that, it's not anything because I wet myself when that happened.
Mike also lost 1,000 pounds of fuel.
Mike did a little fuel dump when the pilot announced to go around. We'll take a break and come back with news you may not need. And hey, Dan O'Brien. Good thinking there. I encourage that. That's good stuff. Way to go. We'll take a break. Come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey everyone, Intern Dotson here. The one whose microphone is never turned on. You know what tomorrow is? It's Wide Open Wednesday. Starting at 9 a.m., the Mike O'Mara Show takes your phone call. Want to be a small part of TMOS? Do you have a great story for the boys? Make sure to dial 888-920-MORE for your chance to talk to Mike, Rob, Oscar, and even Pony. Wide Open Wednesday starting at 9 a.m. That's 888-920-6673. And make it count.
Make it count. Now listen, we're catching a little heat about being, curt with the callers, but the fact is, we're always curt with the callers. We have fun being curt with the callers, and when you get online and you complain about the technical aspect of the phone calls, well, that's all well and good, but we're working on it. Okay, I'm not sure. I have to be honest with you. Wide Open Wednesday. I like to do it. I don't live to do it, but keep whining. See where that gets you. I'm telling you. There's my warning to you.
If we're curt with the callers, it's only because time is of the essence.
Yeah, and these
Thank
calls
you very much.
don't answer themselves.
Exactly. Sure. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Digging.
I swear to God, someone get him a hot towel. This portion of our program is brought to you by Amazon.
Yay.
Oscar, do the Amazon commercial. Go ahead.
All right, people, listen up.
I've got a question about Amazon. It's a good question. What are the perks?
When you're not letting the computer fly itself.
Oh, perfect day for video. That was the best spit take in 2 years.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
When you're not letting the computer do everything for you, how about you do this?
Okay.
You take that atrophied arm of yours and you go to the mouse and you click on MikeO'MaraShow.com, and right there's an Amazon banner to the right, top
Just a
right-hand corner,
disaster.
right next to the microphone. Click through that, no code needed, and shop away. It's the same savings you'd get with Amazon, but we get a little taste. By little, it's too little, but anything counts. So bring it our way. Amazon.com. It's through the MikeO'MaraShow.com page, and you hit the
There it
banner
is.
right there,
There you
right
go.
there.
Oscar, would you say it's the easiest way to support the show?
It almost does it itself.
Right.
There you go.
News.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I got to go to my pain doctor today. Some might say I've already been to my pain doctor today. All right, let's moving right along. French police hauled in 17 possible suspects in the armed robbery of Kim Kardashian last year in Paris. One works for a limo company the Kardashians always used in Paris and was apparently the last person to have driven Kim before she was robbed. Police think he may have told the robbers when Kim would be in her hotel room. Last we heard, they're just being held for questioning and haven't been arrested. Most of the suspects are seasoned criminals already known to French police. 3 of them are women, and TMZ says that 2 of them are, quote, diamond dealers. One of the suspects is a 72-year-old man who may have helped organize the whole thing. He and 2 other elderly men are also believed to have helped transport some of the stolen jewelry to Belgium. Police think they have the 5 guys who actually pulled off the robbery, and at least one of them was identified by DNA he left on the roll of tape used to bind and gag Kim. So that's the latest on the
pretty fascinating detail.
Yeah. Sounds like they're getting to the bottom of it, really. But the elderly factor is kind of interesting to me. These veteran, wily criminals.
I like to picture an older thief like a John Forsythe and a young hot girl doing it.
Did anyone else think 5 guys and peanut shells everywhere?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Magic Coke machine.
5 guys robberies. Thanks for calling. All right. Goodwill Hunting made Ben Affleck and Matt Damon who they are today, but it only got made because of Robin Williams, because he agreed to do it.
All right.
I think I've read that before. Yeah. Unfortunately, they can't pay him back anymore. Matt says, quote, "Oh, man, I have a lot of Robin Williams memories, good memories of him." And Ben said recently, "It's weird. We always felt like we were going to, we had this incredible debt to pay him back. And we thought that there would be time to do that, and just the abruptness of somebody leaving like that, that realization comes to you that you're never going to be able to pay back this incredible thing done for you." So I guess they maybe wanted to write a movie for him or give him another role.
With
but
him, at least.
yeah, that's a shame. So that's it. Stranger Things. You guys turned me on to that show last year.
Great show.
I cannot be more grateful for that. I love that show. It was kind of a love letter to early 80s stuff like E.T. and the Goonies.
Yep.
But I don't know if you're aware of the fact that originally it was going to be a lot more adult and kind of that kind of sci-fi as opposed to the fluffy Steven Spielberg. An earlier version of the script contained a lot more violence and profanity, which isn't too surprising given that it focuses on a little girl who can violently kill people with her mind. Creator Matt Duffer, is it the Duffer Brothers?
It is the Duffer Brothers.
Matt Duffer said, quote, "It was originally like an R-rated thing. Winona Ryder's character was like F this, F that. It felt a little bit unnecessary. I don't feel like we sacrificed anything by toning it down a bit. I think you, in fact, probably went the other way and made it better.
You know what? It really is. If you have to put the button on that whole show, the tone of it is what was perfect.
You watched it multiple times.
I watched it through
liked
twice.
It.
Yeah, the kids loved it, and I couldn't have watched it if the language had been that severe. It was like a Spielberg '80s type movie,
fun.
family.
You know,
stuff.
it's kind of like our bonus show and our regular show when we edit it. You know, when the profanity comes up and it's completely isolated and kind of comes naturally, then you can listen. Do you remember the early days of satellite radio where all those radio shows that had gotten on satellite were so force-feeding the profanity, and it just didn't work? It's pent up. Now, in our real life, F this, F that, but, you know, Stranger Things, I love that show. Looking forward to seeing it again. If you want to get a little free wine the next time you're at a restaurant, here are 2 ways to do it. I know our listeners are perking their ears up right now.
We have a whole society based on this.
They won't make a huge difference, but you might get a little stronger buzz. Here it is. Number 1, before you sit down, look for a section with a waiter, not a waitress. A few different studies have found that men pour more wine than women do. About 9%, that's a significant amount. About 9% more on average. Don't ask for a male waiter. It's not worth looking like a sexist jerk just to get one more sip for free. Number 2, hold your glass while your waiter pours the wine. So I guess that means you got to get a bottle, or he's bringing that to the table instead of like having it done at the bar. A study in 2013 found that we pour about 12% more wine when someone is holding their glass. That makes total sense to me compared to when it's sitting on the table. The chance of them spilling on you is a little higher, though, so hold it over the table. Well, thanks for that. I don't need that detail. Your other option that's sort of obvious is just getting a bottle instead of ordering by the glass. If your table is having at least 4 or 5 glasses, that, of course, is a cheaper way to go. So winos everywhere, listen and enjoy.
And also they say never order the second cheapest bottle of wine on a menu, because you are predisposed to do that by saying, I'll save money, but I don't want the cheapest.
Right.
So they actually put a lesser wine at second to cheapest. You're just as good buying the cheapest bottle.
Oh, wow.
And then you can use the old app that I have. I think it's called Vimino or Vinio. I'm not sure. Let me see. Hold on.
It's a wine app?
It's my new favorite app. I love this app. It's a wine app, and I use it almost.
Vimeo. That was
Vimeo. Video, right?
Vivino.
Yeah.
Vivino.
Oh, okay. I've heard you mention this. Yeah.
It's called Vivino.
So you look
and I
up
love
the
that.
wine, and it tells you what type of flavor and
what I do is I actually, it takes a picture. You can take a picture of the label, and it lets you know how much the wine is selling it for. The people that are on Vivino are actually rating the wine too, and
That's neat.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, look, you've got a limited number of people that use it, so you're not going to get exactly what experts are saying and all that, but you're going to get the people that have tried the wine.
It's
and
ways
you're also,
for alcoholics.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and you can also find where it's being sold cheapest. So you'll see a disparity between what they're, if you're getting like a $40 bottle of wine and it's $110 somewhere, you're getting ripped off, and you'll know it with that app. So that's cool. Very cool. Children change your life and give you a new purpose, and all that stuff. I've done it a few times in my life. Blah, blah. You know what else changes your life?
Come on.
You know what else changes your life and gives you a new purpose? Having extra money. According to the latest...
That's the job perk right there.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever you want. According to the latest stats from the Department of Agriculture, not sure why they got the statistics, it now costs $233,610 to raise a child from the day they're born until they turn 18, and that doesn't even include college per year. That's roughly $13,000 a year for their entire childhood. The biggest chunk that goes into this is housing, since you need an extra bedroom now that you have a kid. The other main expenses are food, childcare, transportation, healthcare, and clothing. Makes sense. On the bright side, sort of, the costs of raising kids aren't going up as quickly as they used to. The costs have gone up an average of 4.3% per year since 1960, but this year they're only up 3%.
Hey, let's have more kids.
That's fantastic. Who do we thank for that?
Obama.
There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hank. And now a little something, boys. It was extremely bad for a family in Stock Island, Florida, when their home game of Family Feud made an actual Family Feud bubble up. I have to tell you, I source probably 4 to 8 kicker stories, these funny little stories at the end. My wife and I now have a game in the morning. I will give her the headlines before I even get into the body of the story, and I will ask her if she thinks they're from Florida.
That's a good game.
Today, there were 3 stories I gave her, and I guessed 2 of 3 would be Florida, and I was spot on.
Hey,
this is the one I chose for you. Even though I don't go for Florida, I go for the dumbest story. So anyway, Stock Island, Florida, home game of Family Feud. A 42-year-old woman named Jernine Green got mad at her 18-year-old niece Tia Parado. I'm sorry.
Good names.
Jernine Green and Tia Parado.
Just for fun, how do you spell Jernine?
Jerneen. Jernine Green.
That's how I would have spelled it.
She's playing a little Family Feud board game with Tia Parado during the game. Jernine used that as an opportunity to bring up her suspicion that Tia had stolen some money from her. No good can come from that. They argued, and Jernine wound up grabbing a screwdriver and stabbing Tia in the ear.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the Family Feud turned into a real Family Feud. She was arrested for felony aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Our survey said, dumbest state in America. There we go. Thank you very much. There you go. I love Florida. I do. Glad to be back. We'll take a break, come back with Robin His Little Sounds right after this.
little freak. I'm just kidding. It's your old buddy Rob, and guess what? The big news is brand new episode of Cake and Cookies. Tune in. It's available right now. You can hear how Katie had to have a pin extracted from her hand. It came out just like in the movie Alien. Also, I had to explain The Price is Right to Jabril. He had no idea what rice-a-roni was. And we go to a party. Brand new Cake and Cookies available right now. Go get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
He's cake. She's cookies. It's Rob and Katie.
I hate dudes laugh on that.
I think it's charming.
He's cake. She's cookies. Cake and cookies. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Are you all set for New Year's? Do you have all your ducks in a row? How about the bonus package?
Get it.
You see, each week we record a 6th episode of the show. It's uncensored. It's so much fun. And it can be yours if you subscribe to the TMOS bonus package. When you subscribe, you get an entire year. You get it. You get the Christmas album, too. Yes. Pony, by the way, I've been reading the emails, and the fact is, yes, Pony is being very generous with the Christmas album. He'll throw it your way. Don't worry. We don't make a big deal about that, and Pony's a generous sort, and Pony does the best Christmas gifting for customer service in the whole wide world.
Yes.
It's wonderful. Make 2017 the best year ever for everybody. The TMOS bonus package. Order it today. Gift it. Renew it. Send it to a friend. Do that stuff. So now, without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for today, Tuesday, Jan 10, 2017. Rob Spiewak.
Today's first sound, Mike. Today's first sound comes from the Green Bay Packers website. Remember the Hail Mary pass that they threw in the game that defeated your Giants ultimately?
Rob, do I remember? 6 seconds left in the first half. I had just gotten done saying to my mother-in-law, well, this is a pretty good game so far. When the Giants secondary, I'm not sure how many of them made the trip down to Miami, but it didn't matter. The Hail Mary pass, the reason it's a Hail Mary is because it's a prayer. Yeah. You have a prayer of completing this pass. Well, not the Packers when the Giants secondary just quits. Anyway, sorry. Do I remember? Yes,
yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you want to recap, I have an interesting call of the game. This is the German television call. So this is the Hail Mary pass covered in German, music added in post-production by me.
Wo ist der Ball? Auf welcher Höhe?
Am Mittellinie. Wofür ist Aaron Rodgers bekannt?
Jetzt spielt Aaron Rodgers den 4. Versuch natürlich aus. Jetzt
Hail Mary, tief in die Endzone. Ja, rollt nach rechts und wirft jetzt.
Jetzt kommt das lange Ding, das ist Hail Mary, Aaron Rodgers. Und der Ball ist gut. Das kann doch nicht sein. Hail Mary, das ist unglaublich. Und der Coach hat es prognostiziert. Du kannst auch übers Wasser laufen. Und Aaron Rodgers auch.
Was?
Das gibt's doch gar nicht.
Hölle?
Cobb fängt den Ball.
Und Randall Cobb ist 5 Fuß 10, ist der Kleinste, der da hinten rumsteht.
Aber wenn du das weißt, wenn wir das erwarten, wieso klappt es dann trotzdem aus Sicht der Giants? Wie kann das sein?
Die Giants haben hier nicht.
And of course,
Giants had it nicht.
You remember that team, Sonny und Sam.
Oh, my God. That may be the best German I've ever heard on the show.
It was great. It was so much fun to watch it. Anyway,
hey,
so
was there a field goal that hit the uprights? About 1 million people were putting that online. I'm not sure.
But there was no doing.
There wasn't the doing.
But I know when it happens because my phone goes. I do appreciate the heads up, but it was not yankable audio.
Also, just some context with the Hail Mary.
Stop the German music.
As far as Aaron Rodgers is concerned, Mike, the Hail Mary we remember with Doug Flutie back in the days, that was like a 60-yard pass.
Yeah,
right?
BC, right?
Yeah.
Boston College.
Yes.
Yeah. Got him a box of cereal.
This is a 47-yard pass, but Rodgers doesn't just throw it up. He throws it like straight up into the air. It's
straight up into the air, and it comes down 1 yard short of the back of the end zone.
Played the game 500 with your friends ever, where you throw the ball up in there and
Not
you
a
call
chance.
value.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get something. I think Rodgers is perfecting this on a different level.
They said during the game, the analysis is that he does it better than anybody in the NFL. The thing about Aaron Rodgers, and I really do believe he is and I'm comparing him to Tom Brady now, I think Aaron Rodgers, with the game on the line and the team around him, I think he's the best in the business. He is so collected.
Yeah.
He is just so composed that it was amazing to watch. I mean, he put that ball He threaded the needle. It was incredible to watch. And the Hail Mary pass is not necessarily as winging a prayer with Aaron Rodgers throwing it, but I couldn't believe it. I really could. And then you look at the DBs for the Giants that literally there wasn't one person that even jumped up to try to stop it.
The New York Post had the best cover where they had the picture of the guys on the boat.
Yeah.
And it said shipwrecked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I thought the pass was
savage.
wunderbar.
Wunderbar. The Germans loved it. Germans loved it.
Mike, can you name this sound? Remember we used to play Secret Sound?
Yes.
Can you name this sound? And you need to be specific.
Sounds like a dog toy being squeezed.
The answer, you have to give yourself a buzzer because you're not specific enough. The answer we were looking for, and you can find it on our YouTube page. I found it fascinating. It's a horse playing with a rubber chicken. This horse is having a blast.
Wow.
So do check it out. The thing is that I've had to take dog toys away because I hate the sound of that squeaker.
You don't like that? Yeah, we just got one for Frankie the other day.
But the speed of that horse, that's amazing. Now, I have to play a tape from The Bachelor for Oscar.
Please.
Because we're following this. Remember Alexis?
Nick Vale.
Remember Alexis who met The Bachelor in the dolphin costume that he thought was a shark? Yeah. She came out last night and celebrated her boob's birthday by bringing him cupcakes because it had been 1 year since she'd gotten her implant.
It's a really important night for me. I have something really big to tell him tonight. So I got my boobs done a year ago. So
this is good news for everybody. Happy birthday.
My birthday boob. It's my boobs birthday. It's my boobs birthday.
I've never celebrated a boob's birthday before.
I know. So
but this is the first time for everything. Happy birthday. Who blows it out? The
boobs.
And then grab the boobs. The speed was fantastic.
He's fast on The Bachelor.
All right. No great moments with John Lovitz last night. I will keep an eye on the Apprentice for you. And that
check the ratings too. Check the ratings.
Oh, the wunderbar.
Well, no, they weren't last week, so we'll see if the battle continues, if they still begin to tank. We're boycotting it in the O'Mara household.
Oh, you're boycotting it, so you're just leaving it up to me to give you the cut.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a clip with that. But no good Lovitz at all?
No. Hey, it's kind of in the background.
Right.
Yeah, so nothing good. We will keep an eye on it. That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
That's it. Thanks for joining us, Joel Rogers. Fly safely, thank you for your continued support of TMOS. Our snail mail address is TMOS, P.O. Box 32101, Washington, D.C. 20007. If you want to send a birthday or message for our weekly mailbag segment, it's Rob with 2 B's. MikeO'MaraShow.com. Thanks for all the years of amazing support for TMOS. Continue to spread the word about our show all over the world. It's the important time of year. Don't forget us, people. For Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana, and our executive producer, Matt Ponyboy Bloom, this is Mike O'Mara inviting you to join us again for your favorite part of the day, The Mike O'Mara Show. Bye-bye, everybody.
So long. Fly safe. Thank you. No autopilot.
MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is the best way to shop for anything and everything. So, shop Amazon and get there through our website. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Now, go in peace.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.